that off. How we all doing? On what is it? I don't even know what day it is. My weed won't go out. Hold on. It's still smoking. Can't go out. This is like the last of my shit. And I'm like prolonging this idea of not smoking weed for a while. So I'm trying to make that last for a while. All right, so some shit happened last night. Let me just check in with my source one more time before I do this. All right. So shit went down last night. All right, so you guys all remember me showing up on K-Pro's channel. Yeah, let's turn off the background stuff. I'm kind of annoyed with the back. How do you like end the virtual background? Like, how do I just like go nothing? None. Here we go. Ah, there we are. All right. There we go. No need for nonsense, even though everything's so bright. I gotta like, what does that do? Oh, that like makes it worse. Huh. Well, whatever. Hope this is fine. So you guys remember the time I went on K-Pro's channel, we talked about Jack's locations. We knew that he just up and went magically in April of 2019 to Colorado Springs, and then he went from Colorado Springs to West Yellowstone, and so on and so forth. God, I'm a little nervous. We couldn't give anything more than that, and it corroborated a lot of things that K-Pro had researched, that a few others had researched, I myself as well. And so it was interesting to get this particular source. And here's the best part about this. I had all my notes for this written out and on Notepad. And then right before I went on, my Notepad erased, like on Notepad, like the program on the computer, Notepad. And it's just not there anymore. So I'm kind of I'm just riffing this now. Like I had notes to organize my thoughts, but anyway, I guess I don't even have those notes anymore. So I'm just gonna have to wing this. That information was a lot of people asked me a lot of different ways how I got that information. I got that information the type of information I have included knowing exactly where Jack was and when Jack was there. For instance, I didn't release some of this. Remember, guys, I said I wasn't going to release some information. You guys got the pertinent stuff, but some of that I was holding back for such an event as last night. And you all got mad, but I told you there was a plan to this. And when there's a plan, you need to see the plan through. And you don't let, even if you hate the fact that people disagree with you and you want to explain it, it's better to see the plan through. So okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Guys, remember, I had notes for this and it got fucked. So I don't know if it's better to tell this in certain order or in chronological order. The information that we got came from a source that I have within Reddit. And I don't mean users. And this source was able to obtain information accidentally, not intentionally, but it was part of an information request that was being done. That's not an official term. It's just kind of, I'm trying to like beat around the bush a little bit here, protect people. There are still people that need to but information fell through the cracks that shouldn't have been in the information that fell through the cracks. And this information was private information. This information confirmed just where Jack was, not to a 99 percentile, but to a 100 percentile. Now, whether or not you think Jack is the finder, the solver, whatever, I don't care. I know where Jack was, and I know where he was by the minute. And part of that information last night was, so here's what happened. My source got hacked last night. My source got completely taken over. And it shouldn't have happened. It was a very simple mistake. My source clicked the link. How many times do we say, don't click a link? He clicked the link. Here's the issue. This is a smart person. They wouldn't be where they were within the confines of Reddit unless they were a smart person. They got socially engineered to click that link. The username that reached out to them had a 5-year posting history, which is next to impossible to fake. And it mentioned a specific line to my source, and I guess I'll read it. At least I have that note because it's from him. Here's the message that he was sent with a link in which he clicked the link, and this is how he got hacked. I know what Jack was looking for at 7:20 in the morning in April of 2019 at Hell's Half Acre. Aside from Jack and whoever was with him that day, there's only 2 people in the world who know those specific details, and that would be me and my source. So this person clearly hacked them through a very simple social engineering phishing scheme on a link through messaging, and he fell for it because he thought he hit the jackpot and our plan was coming to fruition. And it turns out his laptop got fried and he's now locked out of Reddit, like permanently. Like he can't get back in. He's locked out of everything. In every account he has, he's locked out of. He's permanently wiped from everything right now. And this just doesn't happen. So he and I spoke this morning in depth, and we decided to just lay pretty much all of it out. We're still holding back to a couple of things, specifically because of what's happening. But suffice to say, the information we got gives me location and time. And I'm sure you guys can use your brains on what that means. I'll let it sink. But we know where Jack was specifically because Jack, like everybody else, decided he wanted to hop on Reddit. So we're letting the cat out of the bag. We know exactly where Jack was. There's no bullshit. There's no more 99%. Here's why we know. We know that he left from his place in Pennsylvania and he went to Jacksonville, Florida. And then he went from Jacksonville, Florida to Colorado Springs. And from Colorado Springs, he drove to West Yellowstone. And beside West Yellowstone, he then drove within the park. We only get a ping at Canyon Village once. And then we get a ping on the east side gate leaving, and then another one at Hell's Half Acre. And we know it's at 7:20 in the morning. The source isn't trolling me. I mean, if he's, that's the only possibility, is I've been trolled this entire time, Bavetta. In which case, that's perfectly fine. Because I had a plan for in case I was being trolled as well. So that plan is just laying in the background in case that was what's going on. But through this plan, I've been able to actually corroborate real info that a source of mine wouldn't actually have knowledge about to be trolling me of, and they can't be right while they're trying to troll. It doesn't make any sense for a troll. So I've thought about troll since day one. There was shared information on both ends to make me pretty sure it wasn't a troll, but you know, you never know. You never know. But he says he was hacked. Here's the thing. My computer was hacked yesterday as well. And I had a specific file specifically for, not yesterday, in the last 48 hours. It's been a blur. And I had that file specifically about the auction website, which I was tying to people. And that file has disappeared, nothing else. Candy has been hacked and her shit's been frozen out. She got threatening emails basically saying this was about to happen, saying what happens when your lights start flickering, or we get it, we're already inside your network, and blah 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 blah. My guess is there is legitimate hacking going on. People are getting fucked with, and I don't know why. So whether or not my source has been trolling me since day one, and I've told a couple of close people that like that's the other option here is like troll to the point of the stuff I've seen was also faked. So I don't know how you do that, but I guess you could. I guess you could. But something happened with that Hell's Half Acre thing, and he got fucked. Now, we have to assume we're being told the truth. So I'm relaying the information on to you. If we're just being fucked with, then there's nothing to be nervous about, and we can just move on from it, from the bullshit. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think I was told somebody went to Puerto Rico yesterday, and that's when this took place. So I also find the timing interesting. The same person who made threats that they can hack went to Puerto Rico at the same day my source gets hacked. Is the search partner linked through this source? No, Bavetta. And that's kind of why there's a firewall here, so to speak, with firewalls. Not Barb legit hacking, am I right? Dark. I have no idea, but all I know is there seems to be something legit going on. I don't know why they used Hell's Half Acre as bait, aside from they knew that we knew that, and we would be enticed by such a line, and he would click that link. I don't know, but to know the time that, because we know the time Jack was there, and it was at that specific time. So this person also just either guessed the time that Jack was at Hell's Half Acre, or he knows also the time that Jack was at Hell's Half Acre. That really starts to limit the options of who this could be. Remember, Jack also stopped emailing me and pretty much everybody else once we started to release this information of Jack's whereabouts and his locations, and the fact that he started at Colorado Springs of all places. That's when Jack stopped. Like, roll tape. Hold on, getting a message. That's interesting, K-Pro. I don't know if you want me to share that, but that's interesting. I don't even know if she's watching this. She just texted me. And if I am being trolled, to what extent? I mean, why would somebody waste their time to do this? Unless it's just to make me look silly. But why make me look silly? I make myself look silly. I don't claim to be anything else other than someone just trying to figure shit out. So all I know is there's one of two options when something like this happens. They either want us to understand that they're going to come after us now, or they want us to shut the fuck up. I've decided not to shut the fuck up. My source decided that that right course of action was not to shut the fuck up, because that's what they would want. So I'm moving forward with this. And that's why we decided to let the cat out of the bag on how we knew this specific thing. It fell into our laps, luckily enough, but it was real. Look, this is why I said I was always a Colorado searcher, and I fucking, it's got to be in Yellowstone. I know, because of what I've seen. Now, that might not be the real chest, or this is a dummy trail on purpose to be found. Fine. I'm not here to debate any of that. What I'm here to debate is whoever Jack Stoof was also went to West Yellowstone on June 5th and never pinged anywhere else in the park. They stayed near West Yellowstone or the fire hole area. There's only a couple places. I was asked, where do you think Jack searched in the park to a percentage? And I was pretty percentage-wise saying, okay, I know this is where it was. I think along the Madison or along the fire hole, and that's it. I know where If he had gone anywhere else, I would have known, specifically because of how we knew what we knew. And he didn't. He didn't go to the Hell's Half Acre that time. He didn't go to Canyon Village and head east. No, he went into Yellowstone and then went to Santa Fe, New Mexico, with a pit stop in Colorado along the way. But we're holding on to some information because, again, we got to figure out if the next step is real. So, on June 6th, he went inside Yellowstone, and then he continued on down south to Santa Fe. That's what happened. So I'm saying it was, in fact, the Russians. Yes, Dark. And it looks like Thor is compromised as well. Yeah, I would agree. Not compromised, but I think there's shenanigans and fuckery going on Thor right now as we speak. INFJ, that's very very plausible. Or yes, I agree. We got to work with what we got, though. And Bavetta, Jack had made a request to K-Pro very early on that anything you run across conspiracy-wise, please run it by me first so I can at least deny the ludicrous shit, or however he phrased it. And he had that working relationship with K-Pro. He would deny a couple of things, and then some, and I don't think he meant like, just because I don't deny it means this is the truth, but that's kind of what it means. And he had done this with K-Pro a couple times, and she brought all this to his attention, and he ignored. He didn't say, don't you dare. He just ignored. So, okay. I mean, I wonder if maybe this is a dummy trail to be found. This is a Hardy Boys thing. We're still going down the wrong path, and they wanted us to find this trail that leads to Yellowstone. I'm open to that plausibility, guys. I really am. Let's just accept the information for what it is right now. Let's let it sit. Let's let it simmer. But understand that, like, I'm well aware that there could be a varied amount of explanations for what the hell's going on. None of them make too much sense, though, right? Like, we're all in kind of wacko land at this point. I don't know what's going on, but it's not the chase I signed up for. It's not the chase that I think any of you signed up for, or maybe it is. Again, I have a fun feeling that maybe we're all living out some part 2 to this thing, but maybe not. Stuck in Chase Landy, I'm going to let you figure that out based on what I've said. I'd say if in a game of warmer or colder, you're pretty warm. I think Pasteurized K-Pro has seemed bothered, but I don't think K-Pro really understood what was going on with what could be done via just a little bit of code. I don't think she knew the extent to which it could be exploited. I'd be willing to say that. And whether, again, I don't care if you think it's the real area or not. I haven't presented it as it being the real area. I just know it's the area where Jack Stoof was that day. Because I also have corroborating information on the other side that I was able to ascertain from talking to people like K-Pro and others, and corroborates what I know on the other side. This is how do you think exchange of information happens to get to answers? So I know from a lot of different places, not just one. Huli, he hasn't answered me. You'll have to ask K-Pro on that. If I answer for her, I think the answer would be no. He would not comment on the search partner, but commented on other things recently. So what the fuck? Like, again, I'm wondering, and VPNs won't stop hackers, guys. Correct. Sticking keynotes is right. Stick keynotes. VPN masks you, but it's not going to stop anybody from compromising your system. So many people waiting for expecting a happy ending, like they're at a rub and tug establishment, right? And I think at this point, I don't know how it all works, but I think at this point it's more like you thought you were at a rub and tug, and then it's like almost the end of the massage, and you're like, oh wait, no, this is just a legit massage. Okay, like maybe that's the analogy. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Where was his pit stop in Colorado? Hillbilly. That's what I'm holding on to. I'll release it at one point. Like I did. I've released this. You guys know what's going on now. You get it. But I'm holding on to one or two other things just because if someone tries to fuck with me or wants to reach out, I have to have a way to corroborate them. And this is one way I can do that. Got to have a plan, guys. A little late to the party today. What's the area, Ben? Duncan, it's not the area where the chest was found. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say where Jack was. And the areas where Jack was right along the Madison or the fire hole. Nowhere else couldn't possibly be, because I know for a fact where he was, based upon certain indicating records that fell into my lap that show where he was without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm making it very obvious in a way where like we can all like almost you guys can talk about it. I'm making it obvious. Anyone known in the chase has been hacked? Maybe anyone who you know. I would agree. I would agree. I think a lot, especially if you're sharing information with people, guys, they can socially engineer you. They can pretend like they're a fellow searcher with you. And then they have a few conversations where they build up your ego and they make you think you're right about something. And then they send you a link to click of a picture that they saw that talks just about your solve. And you go ahead and you click that link. It looks fine. You've been talking with them for 6 months now. What does it matter? Boom. You just got fucked. I'd like to go over the timeline again. I don't have my notes in front of me, Minotaur, so it's like this is going to be a little tough. But basically, he goes from Pennsylvania to Jacksonville. From Jacksonville, this is April 2019 first. Pennsylvania to Jacksonville, Jacksonville to Colorado Springs to West Yellowstone. Then he's inside West Yellowstone for like a day, I think. And then he goes east. He goes to Canyon Village. Then he goes out the East Gate and he ends up at Hell's Half Acre at 7:20 in the morning. And I don't know the specific day because, again, I had it on my notes. My notes disappeared right before I went on, like 10 minutes before, or like a half hour before I went on when I took a shower. So I don't know what happened to my notes, but some of this information is elsewhere. And again, I'll be back to talk about all of this again in detail moving forward. This is it. We need to talk about this as if it's fact, because it is. Unless I'm being trolled, then I'm open to that. But oof, God, this would be a hell of a long con. Chasing Indy, my old research partner, could possibly have ties to Jack. Things are getting interesting. Yeah, Indy's been sharing some information with me, which corroborates a lot of the weirder stuff I've actually been seeing recently, which I've also dismissed Indy on a couple of things. So, kudos to Indy for sticking through it. And yeah, Colorado Springs, Lisa. And then again, on June 5th, June 6th, guys, he went to Colorado Springs first, or not June, Colorado Springs, June 4th. And then West Yellowstone, June 5th, inside the park, June 6th, down into Colorado, June 6th, into Santa Fe, I think, June 7th. But I can't be positive. I just know he goes straight to a hotel room and is protected. I think, if I have it right. But yeah, we also know he goes down to Santa Fe in the April 2019 as well. So he goes to Hell's Half Acre at 7:20 in the morning. Then we go back to Yellowstone. And then the next day he goes down to Santa Fe, New Mexico directly. I don't know what happens in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I may or may not know where he was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and that may or may not be the second thing I'm holding on to. So a couple things I'm holding on to, guys. Can you talk more about the link? Was it to a file that installed a backdoor on the computer, or did it lead to a phishing login, or what? Vivetta, those are good questions. I didn't ask that specific kind of a question. It seemed as if once he clicked the link, his laptop bricked immediately, and he lost his login to everything. He couldn't, he jumped on his phone, I think, and then tried to log in, couldn't. So he was booted as soon as he was bricked. It was a very fast process, if I'm not mistaken, but I got to go back and talk with him. He's not by his screen name, right? Or his screen name, his whatever app, or these encrypted apps that you use to text messages. That's what we're using. Whenever he comes back, I'll know more. But he might actually. He said he was going to be coming into the chat today, so that's something that maybe he could be answering. Oh fuck, he's right here. So there we go. No idea what the link was. I think it was a phishing hit. So there you go. It was a phishing hit. Why are they hacking us? Part of the experiment? I don't know why they're hacking us, but they threatened to hack us not a few days ago. Oh, Candy sent me that link, the email that she got. Let me go to her email where she gets threatened and says he can just flicker the lights, because again, if he's into her system, he can do whatever he wants. The whole system's on Wi-Fi, guys. Remember, this is why you don't put all your shit on Wi-Fi. Let me do this. Let me share screen. So this is from KProCal at Gmail. This is just the KProCal LLC. This is the person that has been fucking around with KPro and Mike, fucking with Candy, I think fucking with a couple others, and then says, "You think so? Do you want to see an email come from your IP address to you?" He's saying, do you want to see an email come from your own IP address to you, as in he can do that or show that to her? How about a phone call from Fenn's number to you? Maybe the lights in your house will flicker or the channel in your TV will change. There's nothing digital that can't be manipulated. You know that. That's a threat. I don't even care if you're trying to just explain something of what could be done. In the context of which it's happening. So why are people hacking? I don't know what's going on. I think because people are getting too close to the truth, little too close to the sun, as it were. So yeah, Grigori is is the name of the person I've been speaking with, unless this person is pretending to be Grigori and they knew that Grigori was the guy I've been chatting with. Grigori is it. I told you guys we're gonna fucking share this shit eventually. We're gonna figure this out. But again, maybe Grigori is Grigori, some people are saying maybe you're trolling me this whole time. Possibility. I mean, as fans of science, we need to take that as a possibility that is a distinct possible outcome here, that I was just trolled. But this guy was in charge. The man is branded. I mean, he's saying who he is here, guys. So I love all this heat. It's about time. I'm glad people are finally taking the hacking seriously. I think, well, here, I can figure this out. I can tell you guys how this has been ignored so much. It's just demographics, guys. It's just age demographics. Much of the chase is over the age of 45. And yeah, sure. Do some of you understand hacking and making sure you have good passwords and all this shit? Sure, yeah. But there are so many other methods, such simple ones as social engineering, which is almost laughed at by those over 45, 50. I've talked to my own father about this. And what are you talking about? Social engineering. What exactly happened to my contact Grigori here is what could happen to any of us and could have already happened to some of us, and we don't even know it yet in this chase. It's an all hands on deck alert. And Grigori says, no, all I've ever wanted was an answer to this damn poem. And that's kind of how he approached this with me. He came to me and he said, look, you might be a way to get this information out. All I want is fucking answers. We just want to know what this poem was about. That's it. No ulterior motives. To me, that spoke true. That's exactly what I wanted. So we started talking, we started chit-chatting. Trust had to get built over a long period of time, but that trust was built. Now we decided together equally, let's drop this info. Because this dude's been attacked. Something's happened. We're still under attack. We are at war. So what happens next? I don't know. But it's an alert for everybody. And you can ignore it at your peril or try to understand it. But something's going on. And we're going to figure it out. And the only way to figure it out is by being open. And here, voila. I think they caused what they didn't want to cause just now. I don't think they thought we were going to drop this. I think they thought we were going to keep this to ourselves and be scared of what they did because the real life hack just happened. Nope. I definitely think one of the buried jars is at Hell's Half Acre. Could be. I'd love to go check that out, actually. Dark, I have social engineers try to get their way into my building work during the day. My company hires a company to test our protocols. Exactly, Dark. Thank you for that, because it's a real thing, guys. You can have the greatest firewalls in the world and blah, 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 and everything's protected, encrypted, you can never get hacked. Got it. How many employees do you have? Well, we have 12. So you have 12 vulnerabilities right off the bat. Got it. Understood. And I don't think the Chase community understood this. because most of the Chase community was a little bit older in age, and you're just not aware of some of the shit. That's fine. I'm not aware of some of the shit. Our 11-year-old says to us, I get it. It's already happening to me, but we need to understand that could have been happening in the decade-long chase here. I think Fenn probably was hacked very early on, and it wasn't precise. It didn't get exactly what they thought maybe, and maybe this has been a grid search for quite some time. I don't know. And Miriam, I see what you're saying between back and forth with Grigori and whatnot. Exactly. But you have to understand there's remember, I have information from other sources that corroborate what Grigori has told me. Grigori might not know what I know. And again, we're holding back, me collectively, anybody I'm working with, we're holding certain key pieces of information back for this exact reason that someone used one of these key pieces of information, this time on Grigori. If I'm saying that right, dude, by the way, I don't know if I'm Grigory. I don't know. Grigori is what I'm going with. So that's the reason, Miriam. There's something going on there. Other sources. Can't get into it. But hopefully you guys can see why I would hold something like this back. Do you see the compromising position I'm in if I just fucking out and out said that shit, especially off the cuff way back when? I hope you guys can understand why this was delicate and remains delicate right now. Dark says, if a social engineer does piggyback into the building or has a fake badge, then they see how deep in the building they can get, unlock computers, papers on desk, etc. That's a fun job, actually. That'd be fun to do. You get to be all sneaky, and if you get caught, you get to go, we're just testing you out. Fiveleaf, I don't know why you continue to also fight this shit. Like, there's no motive here, like, aside from trying to get information out. Cheryl, no, I don't think we've said it that what the significance is to Hell's Half-Acre, because we don't know. Never been told what the significance is for Hell's Half-Acre. So, don't know. I have reached out to Rudy. He knows that there's a hacking going on. But I think a lot of people in the chase should be aware. At least from this point on, don't click any links. But yeah, Rudy has been made aware. It's weird shit, ladies and gentlemen. Weird fucking shit going on. So I don't know what to think about all of it. I want to bring people on so they can talk about it and see what they think. So I might drop the link out and see who wants to come on here. I'm sure you guys have questions, so like, keep firing them in. I get it. I'll try to answer what I can, however I can. What's up, babe? Good. Have you been watching? Oh, okay. Well, then you don't know what I've said because I've never even told you. Have you considered that the documents you've seen were doctored? Yes, anything I've seen or been told about stuck, I've considered I'm being trolled. 100%. I still could be. Does this negate the auction site? No, I think if anything, we might be getting back to the auction site. I'm not sure though. Again, sticky notes. No one's saying that it's the location of where the chest was. We're just getting to the closer and closer of locations where Jack was. Whether you agree that Jack is Jack or whatever, that's up to you guys. But I don't know what is going on, but I'm keeping all possibilities on the table here. Dark, it's funny. Carrie Galloway, you ever think you'd be on a show with Toby? Hell no. I never thought I'd be on a show with Toby. That was ridiculously weird and cool. Like, it's cool to be on a show with the guy you would listen to. I even said I had my issues with how Toby would present certain things, but like, so what? I'm sure he has issues with me. We all still get along. He's a very nice fellow. So pretty cool. I don't think Grigori wants to come on per se. I mean, we didn't plan that, but let me see if he wants to hop on. I don't think he does, guys, but we'll see. Ooh, that's a good question, Bavetta. That's one for Grigori if he can answer that. I don't know. Ralph, I saw your question before Indy blocked it, but no, I really don't tie my own shoes because I use sandals because I live in Southern California. Alan Kay says Jack had to sell his soul to Hell's Half Acre before he could retrieve the chest. I mean, shit, why not? Good movie. He got banned over 3 times. He banned over 300 people from AGK. Yeah, he says he's banned over 300 people from AGK, or a bunch of people, but like, I guess he was trying to protect. I don't know any of the drama, guys. I don't want to get into that, but then it's gonna be like Kevin Bacon, the Force Fed YouTube shows. You got to get on the Nookers show next. It's funny. I mean, whatever. Ralph Taylor, I have a question. Did you ever really think people would go to federal prison over the chase like you claimed months ago? Wow, geez. Let me check. You speak, but you say nothing. Many before you such as things. It's just flavor they silver. Again, man. Again, man. He has extensive history in this chase, just being a part of just Reddit, man. Like, I think we're gonna get him on. I think we're gonna get his voice on. He's just no camera, but I'm working to confirm that. Working to confirm. How did I meet Jens? I think I said Jens, like, hey man, if you ever want to like reach out to me or something like that, and he did, and then I was just like, I don't even know how I can help you, man. And then he was like, well, you said you were a writer. We both live in LA. I'd like to maybe just meet and see, like, talk to you about your writing and blah, blah, blah. And see, I think it was like, that's kind of how it went, just to see if I would help him out and work with him. All right, now I gotta figure out how to get a link to this dude. Shit. All right, I'm gonna put the link up, guys, but I'm only gonna have Grigori on just because I don't know another way to send it to him without fucking up. How do I do this? Enable waiting room. Okay. So I'm gonna put the link out here, guys, but again, this is just for Grigori for now. I'll open it up to a panel afterwards, okay? Copy invite link. Five Leaf, the info is important because the original story we're being told, we're slowly unraveling that. So you should be fucking happy. Calm down. Link in chat. You have to destroy the original story in order to bring out whatever the fucking truth is. So we have to slowly do that if that's the case. you have to go down those rabbit holes all the way to the end, though. Just because you don't like Yellowstone doesn't mean it doesn't involve Yellowstone in some way. The fake ending, maybe. Ooh, there's a big fake ending. You're the solver, Five Leaf, but we first have to destroy the fake ending, okay? Now, how the fuck do I get to my waiting room? That's the next question. So I have a waiting room. Well, I guess the participant thing would change. See you, Dark. But Grigori will come on. He can answer a little bit more questions in depth. And again, it's some of this is information that only he can answer. I really can't. So it's going to be cool that he can answer some questions for us. So get him ready. I still don't know what to think about Jack being at Hell's Half Acre at 7:20 a.m. That's in the middle of nowhere and pretty early in the morning. Fuck yeah, Minotaur. I agree. How many pings do you have recorded between West and East Yellowstone? Does it in the middle of the park? Again, all our information has just been wiped too. So again, some of this we're not even gonna have exact numbers anymore because he just got hacked and got everything wiped. He's locked out of everything. My stuff's been hacked. I don't have it. I mean, I gotta really dig deep and see what I still got now. But I know the basics, and I'm gonna guess Grigori knows some of the basics as well, just memorized. And he's downloading Zoom, guys. Okay, and so we can at least try to answer some of these kind of questions where it comes to exact numbers like what you're saying, Alan. We can try to get there. Jack's partner was parked in West Yellowstone on the Madison. It was in Yellowstone National Park on the Madison. Actually, again, the Jack's partner's car thing, I think that was just at a campsite, Carrie, right? Let's not just jump to conclusions there. Silver Fox says, agree that we don't know the truth, but we can take every suggestion and push it to several conclusions and make it the truth we need to disprove. I mean, sure, but like all I'm asking you to do is allow yourself to take it as many conclusions as you want. Try to pick the one that makes the most sense to you with me trying to tell you which one is the truth. I don't know what else to say to you. Still waiting. He's downloaded. Okay. All right, I'm going to go grab some water. Let's call this intermission. I'm just going to play some music real quick. Because again, by the way, I'm playing music so you guys understand. I'm not making any money off this shit. I don't give a fuck. So as soon as I play this music, it just demonetizes the video, just FYI. Save your files on Google Docs and change your password. Don't use it anywhere else. I don't trust Google Docs, but yeah, I know it's a good strategy, Jono. The lack of information is not evidence of his whereabouts. He could have been anywhere that does not have service in the park. I agree. Down to Old Faithful. That's why I said I gave my opinion of it's either along the fire hole of Madison, and then after you get the fire hole goes down a little bit, guys, and you get to a certain point once you're going south towards the south entrance, and then you're going to get reception again. So, and again, understand I have other stuff coming from other sources. So it's not all just this. And fuck two-factor authentication fucked me in Discord though. I see it, but then I changed phones and I got screwed out of it. Do we have any facts? Well, facts are we know where Jack was on certain days. So we have those facts. I should have just written it down. I know, Sticky. I know. Is Hell's Half Acre possibly the one along the Madison, not the other one farther southeast? Are there numbers or just see that? And that's something maybe Grigori can answer a little bit more in depth when they get in. Oh, Ghost Answers into the waiting room. Ghost Answer, I'm not having anybody else on except for Grigori, dude. Just so you know, not right now. Ghost Answer, you can come on afterwards. But right now, I'm going to play a little music for intermission. I'm going to go get some water, talk to Ashley real quick. So just 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Just waiting. What did Funny Lover say? Nothing burger. We don't have to censor nothing burger. Whatever. You can think it's a nothing burger all you want. It's fine. You didn't find the chest. So what do you get to determine what's a nothing burger? And Silver Fox, shame on you for even playing along with it. You think I'd go through all this trouble? Come on, man. We smoked a bowl together. Fart sound. I did not fart, boys and girls. This chair squeaks. Oh, Chasing Andy just accidentally keeps deleting comments. Well, okay, Andy, as long as they're accidents. The source is a liar. What are you talking? So you're just going to call him a liar? I mean, again, unless he's trolling me, fine. But again, this dude, internet difficulties, you go. This dude was the main moderator for the Reddit board for Finding Fenn's Gold. Come on, guys, it's the branded man. Go to Reddit. The guy's been there for like, that's who it is. He runs the Fenn Reddit board. So no, it's not just some random invisible liar. Okay, how's that for some meat? It's definitely 9 Mile Hole, right? If water high is clear definition from fishing along the Jono, I don't know. I know. I would not say it's definitely 9 Mile Hole. Absolutely not. I would say it's close to I would say wherever Jack went is definitely inside Yellowstone National Park. Does that mean he found the treasure chest there? Fuck if I know. I think Reddit is easily hacked as well. Many hackers on there. I think everything is easily hackable, guys. I think that's the overall theme here. He can run the Reddit board and still seek lying glory, except he has a posting history years deep. What do you have? How do we not know you're seeking lying glory? Funny lover. My source has a history you can go look up. You can go see all his posts and see the type of person he is. What about you? You can see who I am. I put my face out here. What about you? Deep holes in the Madison there, Tony. I agree. There's deep holes everywhere, though. Albert Kane is the branded man is an evil person. Oof. Well, if you got, spanked by the branded man on Reddit, you might not like him. Ashley, can we say definitely about anything we don't know the treasure? Exactly. And I don't think I've ever claimed to say definitely about anything except knowing where Jack was. That's all I've claimed. And I can only say 99% definitely because, again, I don't know if all of this is just some giant ass troll that be a very elaborate, useless con. I'm a nobody. There's no need to con me. He's just a name online. So are you, funny lover. Lying glory? The guy has a history of posting on Reddit for years. He doesn't give a shit, but just wanting to find out what the hell the answer to the poem was. You, on the other hand, like to come in and type in all caps. I don't trust you. Maybe you have lying glory. Dirk, this is not some, again, they do not, you're absolutely right. This person knows people. Again, information came through the grapevine and too much information was released. And we were able to take advantage of that. It was a fuck up. And it was a fuck up that we said, whoops, well, what do we do with this information? Start to put it out. All right, well, fine. If your name is funny, then that's fair. Touche. hacking is not as common as you think. I know very few regular people who get hacked. I had 2 bugs ever because regular people don't need to be hacked. It's common for when people like your average American is in debt. There's no reason to hack them. What if Jack wasn't even the finder? Silver Fox, I've made that very clear that he might not be the finder. All it says is how I know where Jack was. Did I say how I know where the treasure chest was? No. When I drove it last summer, I don't think I had service at Hell's Half Acre. How does your source know he was there? Again, you're gonna have to ask that, but the information is there is service for Jack at Hell's Half Acre. You might not have had service. I didn't have service driving through the middle of Wyoming, but over to my right, Ashley did. We had different carriers, so there you go. Stuck in Chaselandia. I believe I do have that information written down somewhere. One of the major ones, but Ashley's telling me to stop shouting. Fine. You're hurting my ears. All right, geez, guys. Stop yelling. You guys get me all worked up. Still processing. Sorry for the delay. No worries. We're gonna be on anyways, so. More sources than KFC? That doesn't even make sense. I don't understand. Am I missing something with that joke? TJ Maxx. Yeah, never shop at TJ. Well, I thought TJ Maxx had some good stuff. Like if you knew how to like budget shop. Maybe not. Let's check a few things. Yeah. Check the old email. Oh, well, I've pissed off some people, but that's okay. Oh, you were talking to the shouter. Oh. That's true. We had different. We did have different service the whole time. You think there are 2 trolls working in tandem? I definitely think there's a. I think what you guys think is a troll isn't necessarily a troll and is more than a troll. I think people throw around terms a little too much, and we lump too many people in these terms. This is more nefarious than trolls. Remember, this person had a knowledge of a time that only, me and my source did. So unless my source is making this up, which again, he already has shown up in the chat. We know who he is, the main moderator for the Fen Reddit board, been there for years, plenty of posting history for you to check and see what this guy has said and posted about throughout the years of the chase. And you can assess that person as much as you want from what you can. Maybe this guy is Forrest Fenn himself from the grave. Like, who knows? I get it. It's a screen name. Never met the person, but you know, they're gonna at least say they're coming on to talk. That's pretty cool. No, for sure, Minotaur, and you should. You absolutely should. I just think some of these, let's wait till he gets on. And if he doesn't, then and we know for sure he's like internet issues, then I'll keep trying to answer and you know, we can ask him in different ways. And we'll start a panel up and you know, we'll have people just ask me other questions and I'll answer best I can. I mean, we basically let the cat out of the bag. There's certain things I'm holding back on that will involve Grigori and won't involve Grigori, but will involve Grigori's information without Grigori even knowing. Because it's compartmentalized a little bit because this is how we keep shit from getting out. Grigori didn't want to know certain information. He didn't care. He's like, I don't know. I don't need to know the ins and outs of how you're getting the information or what you're getting until you get to the end of it. Then yeah, I'd like to know what the fucking answers are and what the actual, what really happened. That's what I want to know. And so there's certain things just that I haven't needed to tell Grigori, but I've told him, oh yeah, this is going to match. This actually does match other stuff I'm looking at. And he's like, oh, dope. Like that's how we've done this. And it's been a way we've been able to keep the information light and low. And it's been a way for us to you know, establish trust. Whether you're a fan of him or not, like Albert, I understand, but like, you know, there's a lot of people who aren't fans of K-Pro because she timed him out. Or you know, she threw him in the you know, the dunce cap corner of the room, and you have to you know, be gone for like 2 weeks, like me. So it happens, I get it, but like then I got over it too. So like, look, I can just tell you about my interactions with Branded, and they've been positive. We you know, we did this, but is it possible that he even is fucking with me? Sure, absolutely. To go to this extent, I'd like to see the reason why. Have I searched my PC? I know how to search my PC, and believe me, I've even gone backwards in time on the damn thing. Nothing. You know, a lot of people say if you aren't pissing people off, you probably aren't doing your job well. So you know, being a moderator of Reddit, then oof, you're gonna piss some people off by running a tight ship. That's all I'm gonna say. Listen, I didn't like with some of the stuff he did. This is the same dude who thank you, Bavetta. Branded has seemed good as far as I've seen. I agree, Bavetta. I have the same opinion, but that, you know, everybody can have an opinion and have a different opinion than us. That's okay too. None of that makes Branded a good or bad person. But what I do know is I don't see a reason to lie. And the type of information that we had could get a lot of people in trouble. It's information we shouldn't have had, we weren't supposed to have, but fell in our laps. So what do we do with it? We're going to use it. I keep checking to see what's up. So we'll see. Last seen 3 minutes ago. Maybe I'll check this. I think he would tell me if he was here. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing yet. We'll see. I'm on pins and needles. All I know is I know where Jack was June 5th, June 6th. And I also know Jack drove down to Santa Fe back in April of 2019. Jack, why don't you just say why, man? You were buying a book at Collected Works bookstore. Okay, move on. Why ignore it? Jack, I know where you went, when you went to it, and I know you've lied about some things. Why lie? Why have you lied? It's weird. The Brandon man hates K-Pro. I have an email from him saying horrible things about it. I will share it with, as I have already done. Albert, the Brandon man and I worked through that as well. And K-Pro knows who I was talking about and knows that Branded isn't a friend of hers. But that's okay too. We got over it, man. You can get over it too, Albert. We don't have to go to the rescue here. So. Deranged banana, that's a good question. I did a little testing on that topic a little bit. just to see if I get some honesty along with, what's going on. That if I'm getting trolled, then that's probably what's going on. If there's a troll happening, that would be the script I would have written. So that could be a possibility. I think somebody hacked Forrest, Lori, at some point during the chase. Some point during the chase, yes. I think Forrest was hacked. Where did Jack go? That was weird before he went to Colorado. Jacksonville. Quick flight to Jacksonville, then a quick flight to Colorado Springs. It's just, I mean, unless you're connecting in Jacksonville, I guess. But he was in Jacksonville for a long period, like 7 or 8 hours, I think. Could have been even 12 hours. I just don't, that's the stuff I don't have in front of me. Am I lonely? So is Grigori the branded man? Yes, Mike. Yes, Grigori is the branded man. Seeing if he's actually going to show up here. Rubber band man. And if it was a troll, that's a good troll. I would tip my head to that. But I'd ask why. Who cares? Again, I'm a nobody. There's no reason to troll me. Trolling Kpro and Mike, I understand that. You're trying to take down the, the perceived leaders of the community or whatever, but it's silly. You're gonna get in trouble for it. Who else here? Let me check with the chat here. Let me scroll up. What about the Muffin Man? Hey, USA China in the house. Good stuff. Good stuff. 314 and still talking in circles. I mean, I don't know if we're talking in circles. We're digesting the information and we're speaking out loud for the first time about it. It's a tough audience. You guys are so hard to please. Could have been getting extra flight miles similar to credit card optimizing. Absolutely, Bavetta. Although I would think if I ran a Freedom of Information Act request on a Forrest Fenn videotape interview, and I lie about this act and when I did it, so that when I did get it actually in real time in April, I immediately travel to figure this out. And then I immediately travel to Jacksonville, and I immediately then go from Jacksonville, not immediately, I wait those hours, and then go to Colorado Springs. Meh. Ben, when did you start the chase and how long on Fenn Reddit? I heard about the chase as a real thing in the middle of the chase, like 2015, 2016. Checked out the Reddit boards then. Didn't last long, and reapproached it kind of end of 2019, heading into 2020, and then from there I was on every day. Yeah, where is Grigori? He stopped messaging. He said he was having internet troubles. Nope, I'm game. Send the link again. All right, I'm gonna pop the link back on it for Grigori. This is just for Grigori, guys. Again, the branded man from Reddit. Hopefully he can answer some of these questions for y'all. This link is just for him. I will have a panel later. Just posted. And then that'll take him to the waiting room, and then we'll have him in. Just hard to trust the word from someone that has it out for Kpro and Mike. Well, again, it seemed as if he didn't like Kpro and Mike back in the day, but I think that whatever those feelings were subsided over time, and he knew that I talked to Kpro, And I told him that, listen, I'm friends with K-Pro and that you're gonna have to deal with that. And he it didn't get to any kind of shit talking about K-Pro with me. It was yeah, no, I didn't really like them or agree with anything they do and blah blah blah. I mean, he was honest about it. And so, we got that off the bat quickly, if you will. Grigori is connecting to audio.
Can you hear me now?
Grigori, I hear you. It's actually good to talk to you now.
Good to be on. Glad to finally get some of this bullshit cleared up.
So let's start with the first one. Are you trolling me?
No, I wish I was that dedicated to fucking with people, but unfortunately, no. I just want to fucking answer to this goddamn riddle.
All right. So, and again, so everyone knows, you're the branded man on Reddit, one of the main moderator on there, right?
I am the branded man of Reddit. Yes.
So, I guess
Feared and
let's get to the nitty gritty of it. People wanted to ask certain questions, like, I guess, like, let's let everybody realize you're here. There's like a 30-second delay, I think, between us and the YouTube chat. And so, like, let's let some of these questions just roll in, and then whatever you can answer, whatever I can answer, we can. But let's give them a chance to kind of catch up. So you're locked out of everything. Your laptop is like just bricked, and you can't get back into any of your accounts, right?
I am currently locked out of everything. Last night at around, oh Jesus, I want to say it was probably around 11 o'clock. I got a message from somebody on Reddit. I don't even fucking remember the username, but the bastard had a picture of a caveman for his picture. So do with that what you will.
Okay.
He informed me of information that I thought only I knew, that only you knew, and that only perhaps Jack and a search partner were aware of. And I was baited into clicking the link.
And so what do you recall what the link said, or not what the link? Well, yeah, what was the link? Was it was it just a bunch of series of letters of numbers? What was the message that came with it?
No, it was actually a link to the Imgur
oh, really?
image site.
Okay, so like what we normally
It
do
looked like a
on our Reddit chat room, for instance, we'll do the Imgur links all the time because that's the only way we can share a picture, right? So,
exactly. I didn't suspect it at all.
Right. It's kind of something that we normally do. And again, you said that this account had an extensive posting history as well, which made you not suspect it as much as if it would have been a new account, right?
Yeah, I clicked on his account before I even accepted the message just to see if it was a real account, because we get sock puppets all the time.
Right.
And the character had a 4-year posting history, I believe, and several of those stupid little Reddit awards. So from the outlook of it, everything looked legit.
Okay. And so, and from then, everything's been wiped. Can we talk about what it is you saw without saying what it is you saw? But can you describe to the extent of the accuracy some of this stuff? In terms of like locations and times.
The location times came to me after, how do I put this without ratting anyone out? I was attempting to hunt down a suspected Jack sock puppet account. And I knew that this was back before it was released and announced, but I knew that the Condor was Jack. This was when the database was being built up. We were still working on that. And I had a suspected account that I was relatively sure I was him. So I placed a request for an IP address check. The reason that they let you do that is to get anyone who's trying to evade a ban.
Makes sense.
And the information that came back was much more robust than I was anticipating getting. I expected a yes or no. Instead, I got a spreadsheet.
Gotcha. And is that spreadsheet something that's now gone?
I don't believe so, not in its entirety. If I
Okay.
can get back into certain files and folders, I can recover it. I am taking my computer to a computer shop. Unfortunately, I currently have just moved to the beautiful little town of Darby in Montana. That was just this last month. And the nearest city that has anything that can actually recover data is Missoula, which is an hour and a half trip. So it's unfortunately going to be a weekend thing.
Have you always lived in Montana?
Oh God, no. Until last month, I was living in Utah.
Oh
I
shit,
was
Utah.
search and rescue in the Wasatch Mountains.
Did you grow up in Utah? I have
Yep.
some family from there.
No, but I have family there now.
Interesting.
I was transplanted in from Europe. And then after that, my father joined the United States Air Force. And from there, it was a whirlwind tour of the United States.
Well, wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty much like a movie. Military brat kind of thing.
You still there?
No, I'm here. I hear you. So, okay. Is there anything else we can learn from that we hadn't shared already? Or no, right?
Not really.
I don't
I
think so.
gave you most of the highlights. I don't intend to disseminate too much since I'm not quite sure the legalities of what I received
Mhm.
and the penalty of reissuing without some sort of order. So
Yeah.
I picked through it myself carefully, and the highlights have already been revealed to the community.
Okay. I don't like at this point. I don't know what else you had information wise that would help, but at least at this point, people can understand that there was work behind the scenes. I think some of them understand that you are the branded man. They're even going to the point where they're asking like, oh my God, he doesn't have a European accent. It can't be the branded man. But what they don't understand is like I went through an extensive process of making sure that we were still talking. You were talking to the same person as in me, and I was still talking to the same person I was originally talking to as in you. So
Correct.
we went through a rigmarole to make sure that we are who we think we are. So guys, like you guys need to take a breath. Okay. I know how to do my work. Now that doesn't mean this guy here isn't trolling the shit out of me and like there's no database or there's no spreadsheet and there was never any kind of records of knowing where Jack was and this is all just being fed to me. Sure, that's a possibility that I have to accept as a reality. And I'm saying that in front of you, man, only because I have to. That's a possibility. I would say it's highly
I
unlikely.
completely understand. I am the same person who criticized others in this community for jumping on facts too fast.
So we both have, but
of course,
behind the scenes, I would say we did approach one another as we probably would have expected, and we did our due diligence, guys. Now, there's some people who don't like the way you've talked to people or talked about K-Pro. Again, you and I even got into that a little bit. So what? I'm sure there's people who don't like the way I talk to Josh Jordan or talk to other people or talk the way I talked to Five Leaf back in the day online. Again, when you get over the keyboard, it's a different story, right? I mean, a little bit, especially when you're dealing with Fen community and you're having to run the Reddit of, hundreds of live users a day, thousands of subscribed people to the board. Like, you have to deal with some shitheads and you have to be a little crass almost to everybody at times, I think. I'm not trying to speak for you, but that's kind of my
Oh, I have perfected the art of being an asshole. No, I have definitely butted heads with K-Pro before. I have the greatest respect for her work ethic and her detective skills. I simply believe that she rushed to judgment a few times when she should have simply held back and waited for a moment. I have disagreed with her. That has not been a secret, but I have nothing but the highest respect for her.
Well, there you go. There you go, guys. Here's a question in for you. I don't even know what this means. Was ping data obtained via LE writ?
It was not.
It was not. There you go. Albert says, what other Reddit subs do you moderate? I think he's still trying to make sure you're actually the branded man.
I moderate a large number of the unresolved crimes and crime community subreddits.
Albert, does that suffice for you? We'll find out. Goldilocks is obviously not a fan of yours as either. Chat's interesting, right? I don't know if you've never been in any of these.
That's all right.
Like, to see chat reacting to you as a person, it's got to be, it gets a little weird, especially when they, if they like you a lot or don't like you or think you're somebody else or accusing you, who knows?
I can't even see chat, so whatever they're saying doesn't affect me.
Well, that's probably the best way to go about life. Albert is now saying, this is him. This is him. Okay, well, there you go.
Yes, Albert definitely knows that I'm an asshole.
Yeah, well, Albert has tried to make that very clear in the chat.
As he should.
Right. Any other random questions we want answered, guys? Again, now that Albert's even backing that this is him 100%. Do you guys want to talk? I think there was a couple of questions on Hell's Half Acre. Like, do we know how long he was there for? And then a little bit.
Hell's Half Acre is the one that
that
has absolutely vexed me ever since I got the information, because I can make neither heads or tails of it. There is absolutely nothing there that I can direct any portion of the poem to, which makes it all the more baffling that there was a ping there at all.
Right.
And from that, I cannot draw even a guess. I have no information any more than anyone sitting in the chat does. I wish I did.
All right. So what about, can we get into the Colorado detour a little bit in terms of when he was driving back from Yellowstone? This is June 6th, 2020. He detours. Do we know exactly where he detoured? Do you?
If you'd asked me yesterday, I could have looked it up. As of right now, I know it was simply off of the main highway and he went onto a back road for something or other. He was off the beaten trail. Where he was going to, I'm not certain.
Was there a national park anywhere in the vicinity?
There was about 30 miles to the west.
What park was that?
Oh, Jesus.
If you remember.
It was, God, where was it? Was it? No, are we still here?
Yeah. I was just giving you time.
All right. Yeah, my connection is a little shitty. I do apologize for that.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. It's fine.
All right. It was just outside of, I believe, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Uncompahgre?
The Uncompahgre?
That's the one.
Get the fuck out. The Uncompahgre National Forest?
Yes.
That's where my solve is, bro. What the fuck? Come on. Now I am thinking you're trolling me.
That was your solve? I thought you were up in Montana.
No, my solve was the Uncompahgre River.
That's unusual.
I've said it numerous
No,
times.
Rudy was up in Montana with me.
Yeah, my solve overlaps with the Erskine solve.
Well, that can't be right then.
Why the hell is he driving to the Uncompahgre National Forest, or at least nearby? Wow. What in the world?
I never quite figured it out. There's a whole bunch of little pings that simply do not make sense with any of the story that he's told.
Right. All right. Let's sidebar that. K-Pro's asking some good questions. How close?
You'll have to read them off to me.
Yeah, I will. I
can't
will.
see the chat.
How close or exact to Santa Fe of a location did we have?
Outskirts. After it hit Santa Fe outskirts, it didn't ping again for, I believe, a day or two.
Okay, and then where did it ping next? Do we remember?
It was still in Santa Fe.
Still in Santa Fe overnight.
Seems it was.
Interesting. Okay, next question. Okay, where did he stay? Do we know where he stayed overnight in between the drive from Yellowstone to Santa Fe, or was it a straight shot?
I do not have that information, I'm afraid to say. There was only a few stops on that trip, and none of them seem to indicate a stay. Okay,
interesting. None of them indicate a stay for an overnight. So we don't even think he stayed overnight then, because of the movement we can see he's just moving. He's not staying anywhere.
Exactly. Most of his pings were just outside of either gas station areas, I would assume, in small towns, possibly rest areas.
Got it. Okay, that's interesting. So he was overnight in Santa Fe in 2019, and then did he fly home? Was his next ping back home from Santa Fe, or was it?
He was back home.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And some of this you think you can still recover? Possibly. Well, if haven't been wiped away clean from this hack.
If these computer wizards can work their magic, then yes.
All right, well, that's at least a hope there. So we drive straight to drive straight to New Mexico. And this was with the chest to drive straight to New Mexico and drove straight to New Mexico as well back in 2019. So both times.
In 2019, he took more detours. In 2020, after the recovery of the chest, it was straight shotted.
Okay, so in 2019 there were detours and overnight detours on the way to Santa Fe.
Not overnights. They were not over the span of about
still not
6-ish hours.
Okay,
just enough to stretch your legs, I would assume.
Yep, makes total sense. Do we know anything extra about Jacksonville? How long he was there for? Did he have multiple hits in Jacksonville, or was it just kind of like landing at an airport and then going somewhere else?
As far as I can tell, it was just the airport.
It was just the airport. Interesting. So maybe just a connecting flight.
It could be.
Interesting. I don't know. Do you connect in Jacksonville to go to Colorado Springs? I guess, maybe. Flight paths is weird, so who knows?
Yeah, flights have been weird for years now.
Hell's Half Acre is 2 named places. Can you confirm the Hell's Half Acre isn't the Hell's Half Acre? Like, there's 2 Hell's Half Acres, I guess, inside of Wyoming. Do we know which specific one?
The ping was between Casper and Shoshone.
There you go. Mike Nealon wants to ask, were pings phone or a computer locating service?
As far as I understand, most of them were from, how do I answer this tactfully?
Yeah, take your time.
The majority were from a computer.
Interesting.
But when you roam with your cell phone, the cell phone towers apparently each give a unique IP address, mobile, and the Reddit account connected to those. It's not like CSI where they have within several feet. Unfortunately, with Reddit,
Right.
it's a much more, he was somewhere within 20 miles of this cell tower.
Right. Makes sense. That makes sense. Question, a comment from Silver Fox. It just feels like so much like his dog ate his homework. Not really, because this is the reason why we decided to come out and say all this shit. We didn't have an instigating reason to be so clear like we are today, Silver Fox. It was because this happened. So yeah, a little bit that feeling. So it's a little bit of take my word for it, I guess, if you want to go that far. But USA China wants to know, have you ever run across Shore United Bank from Dover, Delaware, PO Box 285? What about his stop in Canyon Village? How long did it go dead for? What do we know from Canyon Village? Was it just like a on the way kind of a hit? Or did he stay there for a while?
I could not tell you. It was a
I think I
solitary
remember.
hit.
I think I remember you saying it was just like a one hit on the way, and then he hits again later at the East Gate, or hits again at Hell's Half Acre out between Shoshone and Casper, I think is what you told me. But that's,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Canyon area was just a one of. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe he just got close enough that that's the tower he connected to.
I think that makes sense. Has he ever hit in Puerto Rico? Ooh, that's a question.
Before he moved to using VPNs, there was Puerto Rico activity, we'll say.
There you go.
Unfortunately, about 2-3 weeks, I believe, after the official announcement that the game was up, the individual in question probably put their system into a VPN mode and started pinging from India. So
India, of all places.
I'm sure it was a joke.
Right? It had to be. All right, well, that's just lovely. Bavetta, so Hell's Half Acre ping could have been flying to Santa Fe. No. It was a drive to Hell's Half Acre and then a turnaround back to West Yellowstone and then down to Santa Fe. So not on the way.
I believe if he'd been on an airplane, it would have connected to plane Wi-Fi, which would have probably given something completely different, like a corporate office somewhere.
Right, exactly. Can you get to a clear device and find information again the exact way you see the first time before you were hacked? Isn't this information still out there? I think this person he just can't get into his devices right now. So the device that has all this info, he just needs to get into, and he thinks he can if, the computer people work their magic. Am I right about that? Yeah.
That was an unexpected surprise this morning, yes.
Right, which instigated everything going down the way it did today. Like, enough's enough.
Exactly. The game has gone on a little too long, in my opinion.
Mike Nealon wants to ask a hard-hitting question here. Is Reddit aware of the release of this information? I don't think Reddit's aware of anything. Comment. I don't think there's no comment to be had there. I think it's fluid right now, Mike. Why is it wrong to be a skeptic and insist on proof? It's not, Silver. I appreciate you. Five Leaf.
Correct.
Five Leaf, if Jack existed, he'd be suing people. I don't know if Jack would actually be suing people. I don't know if he wants that headache, but it's interesting. A lot of people just don't think Jack exists. This is some character, but somebody's doing this, I think.
The Condor was somebody.
The Condor was somebody. That's what I say. You don't have to think it's Jack if you don't want to think it's Jack, but it's somebody. How far back does this info go? How far back was Puerto Rico hits, pings? So when was the earliest Puerto Rico hit? Do we remember that? Let me ask it this way. Were there hits before the find and after the find, or just before or just after?
And just before, if I recall correctly.
Just before. And then, like you said, the VPN
after the find, everything went dead.
Everything went dead. So there were hits in Puerto Rico just before the find. And just before could be like a month or two before or whatever.
I believe it was 2 to 3 months before.
2 to 3 months before the find, we already have a hit in Puerto Rico. And we already have the character of Condor too, stating that if someone were to find the treasure chest, they should move to Puerto Rico, correct? I mean, we all agree that's what the Condor said.
We've all seen the Condor Web database. As
Okay.
far as I'm concerned, that's about as ironclad as it can get.
Yes, I would agree. We don't know, Miriam. Don't know. Kpro says she had some strange activity on Thor overnight. Is there a connection to Thor from the Reddit side?
All I can say is don't click anything.
Don't click anything, even if it's a link in Thor. There's a user in Thor who deleted everything. Like all they were in Thor for a very long time, and overnight last night as well deleted everything. The timing, of course, to me is not a coincidence with what's going on.
It's an interesting maneuver, but I don't understand the logistics of it.
I don't understand logistics of it either, but if we can, I think she's going to work to try to getting those posts and just see what the story is, if there's a story there. But it's weird. Does Brandon know the handle of the search partner? Do we know this handle of the search partner?
I do not, although I had suspects.
There you go, Kpro. Goldilocks again. You're just not. There have been strides behind the scenes to make up, Goldilocks, and to be using trust in order to do that, to make up. And I've been a part of that. So just understand that, Goldilocks. Where was
I
Jack?
trust Ben implicitly. I trust Kpro. I would hope that they trust me. If they don't, that's completely understandable and frankly commendable.
Well, I don't know who Kpro trusts, but I trust to an extent. I trust you. I think we've developed that. Again, I like I told you in the beginning, I open the possibility to, sure, is there a possibility you're still trolling me? I guess it wouldn't make much sense to me. Here's another question.
Possibility, but it wouldn't get me answers, and that's all
it doesn't help you except waste you. I guess if you want to like laugh, if you're part of like a group of people who just want to laugh about all this, I guess.
I feel like that would only be effective if I had somebody to laugh with, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
And Jack hasn't returned my emails.
Neither has he to me either. Shelly asks, where was Jack July of 2019? I don't know if you're going to have that off the top of your head.
I do not have that information off the top of my head. No.
We're gonna have he's got to get back into his system to do that. They started mid 2018, deleted all their posts last night, overnight. Oh, so the whatever user who started on your website mid 2018 deleted all their posts last night. Well, my contact over here had his shit hacked, and I had my software hacked the night before, and Candy got threatened. It's interesting how it's all happening at the same time there.
It's also convenient how that's about the same time that Dear Sweet Jack came into the chase.
Right, of course. Ben, the comment about Puerto Rico was stated in August 2019 via the Reddit database comments, the same timeline as the auction website. Bingo, bango, bongo. India's made the connection that I think a lot of people need to make to the website. The Condor states the winner or the finder would find the chest. They should move to Puerto Rico first. And that comment is made August 2019. The auction website said that the chest was found August of 2019. We have a source coming out and just stating it clearly that there's a hit in Puerto Rico from the Condor in 2 to 3 months before June of 2020. Now the story gets flipped. Sorry. That changes everything. It doesn't say we know where the chest is. It doesn't say we know what the truth is. It just says we know what the truth isn't.
I can't confirm anything. I can only rule things out at this point.
Right.
I only know where he was, not where he was going or what he did while he was there, I'm sad to say.
Right. And Kpro saying this is a good lesson that everyone must share all info the same day they get it, and we're holding back. This had to be delicate, Kpro. I think you can understand that, actually. So I disagree with that.
It's somewhat a tenuous legal situation, I'm sad to say.
I'd say. Jason says someone was knocking on my VPN last night as well. Just strange. This is a bunch of people had issues last night without corroborating with one another. It's very strange. Jack applied for tax exemption September/October of 2019 for Puerto Rico. This all adds up to, I think, something along with the website is going on, and it involves the actual find of the chest was August 2019. And the retrieval of the chest was June of 2020. The details beyond that are murky at best, but they are not what Jack Stoof has told us. Oh, she goes, I was just kidding. I know all too well. I tried to make a joke. It's hard to tell what's a joke with the text sometimes. So glad that was a joke. K-Pro, confirmation that Jack was indeed in Puerto Rico. Well, he was indeed in Puerto Rico from, oh, Carrie said this. I don't know if I said Candy. Carrie said that. He was indeed in Puerto Rico, we know, a couple months before the find. The Condor 2 character is stating that they should be in Puerto Rico and applying for tax exemption as early as September, October. So it all adds up. Guys, you have any other questions? I don't want to keep him here forever. Grigori's got to like do his shit. He's got to figure out how to get back into his stuff so we can move forward with this. Where again were the pings on June 5th, June 6th, 2020? I'll speak to it. Grigori, tell me where I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the same trip without Jacksonville. I think it was just Colorado Springs up to West Yellowstone, inside the park with no other hits anywhere inside the park. So we know if he had gone to Canyon Village, he would have hit. If he had gone south outside of the park, he would have hit. And so he's somewhere inside the park. And then he leaves June 6th and does a straight shot with a little detour in Colorado in the Uncompahgre Forest, and then continues down to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Correct on all counts.
There it is.
That trip was very quick. He was in and he was out very quickly.
And he went to my friggin' search spot. I'm having a hard time with that.
I half wonder if he was mocking you.
Oh, man. Why would you, what I wondered was, why would you take a pit stop anywhere with that chest? Okay, the Walmart stuff, I understand, I guess, because I've learned from others that, get some food, you're going to be holed up for a while. Like, okay, so he stops at Walmart, he's got to take pisses. I understand that, I guess. I mean, I'd piss in the fucking bottle and keep driving. I would only stop for gas. But for him to take a pit stop, and you're saying he went on a back dirt road, he went somewhere off the beaten path with that chest in hand for some reason.
Not a major highway.
Not a major highway. On his way to go see Forrest Fenn. For some reason, he decided to do this. Interesting.
Correct.
And the man himself, I think, doesn't Jack write in the Medium article, one of the Medium articles, that he did this or something?
That he made the trip, or that he stopped outside of a park?
I think he said he stopped outside of a park in Colorado or something to that effect, or on the way down.
I believe he said he stopped outside a park that he had always wanted to see.
Right, which for whatever reason, he decides to tell us that. Okay.
I'm not quite sure what he was driving at with that, or if there was a specific area that I'm simply not seeing.
I kind of want to go back to my search area now, though. K-Pro says, Ben, he was not alone. Right, K-Pro. There's other information that Gory doesn't have, that he does have, that some people in this chat have, that don't have. We know he wasn't alone. We know. Indy, ask your friend. We're friends now. I'll take that. Ask if your friend has anything that could link the auction website to Jack or the brother or Scott. I don't know if you do, Grigori. And I think you're on mute, by the way, just FYI. It's his first time on Zoom, guys. He didn't say Colorado, says Miriam. Right, he just said a national park along the way. It turns out it was in Colorado. Turns out it was in my search area. Why? I don't know. It has nothing to do with the solve, I wouldn't think, but. Hey, Grigori, you're still muted. He might have muted for a reason. He might have somebody he's talking to. I don't know. So we'll chit chat until he comes back. Ooh, the website is huge. I agree, Fendi. I think the website is huge. I think a lot of people are coming around on that website. Can I have Grigori explain how Cost could delete everything off Reddit like he did? Oh, Scott could delete everything off Reddit like he did. Is that even possible? That's a good question. We know that specific screen name, and I know that Grigori looked into that specific screen name, and there was a pretty good wiping that went down. And so we'd like some answers for that for sure. I don't know that Grigori has all the answers on that, but it definitely it's weird. And I think there's legitimate people in Chase here who deserve answers, so they don't have to be up at night, even if it is a joke. You're keeping people up at night. This isn't fun. This has gone to a new level. I'm game for it. I'm always privy to a good chess match, but it's losing its fun factor quickly. Between Tony, it was between Casper and Shoshone. Fendi, if his cell phone is off when it passes the tower, does it ping? I'm gonna let Grigori answer that one. Goldilocks says he's off screen laughing his pants off right now. Like I said, if I'm getting trolled, it's a good troll. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, you trolled me. Woohoo!
And we're back.
And we're back. Look at that. Ooh, good timing.
Terrible apologies. The girlfriend showed up.
No worries. There was a question. Where did it go? If cell phone is off when it passes the tower, does it still ping?
No, as far as I know. And it doesn't, right. I don't have his every movement ping. The only ones I have are when he was actively connected to Reddit.
Right. You're breaking up a little bit.
Down even more.
I'll rephrase that a little bit. He only has the access that would have come from his opening up the Reddit website or application, guys. So there's a whole other layer of what we don't have, but it's enough. That's the fun part about it.
I'm only getting snapshots of a film. Think of it that way.
Right. Makes perfect sense. It's a good way to put it. You're getting snapshots of literally the film canon. It's like the film. There's like pieces of it, but there are enough pieces to go, okay, I see. It's weird that his flight went to Colorado Springs instead of Denver from Florida, which I assume is because that's where he got in his search partner's car. Lisa, that would be a good assumption. I don't know why you would fly to Colorado Springs. It adds 6 hours to your drive, and you're right. Most people would fly into Denver. It's a hub. It would probably cheapen a ticket and allow more options. Why wouldn't you fly into Denver? Capro wants to ask
my only answer to that is that he had someone he had to pick up.
That's where I'm at. Why is Grigori talking now? Can't he get into trouble? Anything to say to that?
Only if I can get into my account.
What do you mean?
If I'm locked out of my account, well, then they can't really prove it was me.
So it's double-edged sword if you can get back into your stuff.
Yeah, I've been in that spot before.
Interesting. Lisa and treasure words due to the search part. So, all right, I think the questions are starting to die down.
All right.
What path to get to New Mexico? Which highways? Do we know that? Do we know a specific kind of highway he took so you could kind of plot and go, okay, he took this route, or not that detailed?
He was on 15 for at least a while.
There you go. He was on 15 for a while. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Ask my question again, Indy. All right, question. Why don't you just rewrite it, Indy? Good grief. Ask if your friend has anything to do that could link the auction website to Jack or the brother or Scott.
I do not, unfortunately.
Do you remember Scott's looking into that specific account name and seeing a wiping, would you say, of a history?
I don't know if I would call it that.
Well,
what it was instead was, it looked like he had either written or found a bot program that went back and rewrote and edited every single one of his posts to say, this post has been censored for safety. And unfortunately, if you manage to backlog him now, the latest push shifts that will pick him up will only read the edits. So all of his comments now say, this comment has been censored for safety.
And that's not normal, you would say, in your history of dealing with this kind of stuff.
It's not normal. I've seen it happen on a few accounts, but that was back during Oh God, what was it? It was back during the China crackdown on Taiwan.
Oh,
A
wow.
lot of Taiwanese Redditors were overwriting all of their old posts and deleting them.
Interesting. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, for now, I think that's it. If shit gets more burning, we'll you and I are gonna stay in contact, but like maybe we have you on again as an update later on. Let's see how the dust settles from this. Yeah.
I'm hoping the fire smolders out soon.
Right. But I want it to do something. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So appreciate having you on. And if it is a troll, it's a good one.
Yeah, I will hopefully speak with you again soon then.
Yeah, man. I'll reach out to you. I'll send you a message.
All right. Take care, my friend.
See you.
Bye.
Wow, guys. I think everybody thanks Grigori for coming on. That was pretty dope. I don't know what we want to make of it though. Let's see if you got. Maybe we should do the panel time. Maybe have you guys on if you guys want to ask me some questions. You got the answers that you needed from Grigori. I'm glad he was able to come on and do that for us. Especially takes a load off of me because I don't know how to answer some of these questions sometimes because I'm not technically all savvy and shit. So, so what I can do is either sign off here. It's been a couple of hours. I could do that, and then maybe Indy can just do an after show or some shit, and then I can maybe hop on a little later in the evening, maybe sort out my afternoon here and figure out what's going on, help Ashley out with some homework or whatever needs to get done at the home here. But my latest summary of everything, my latest summary is me and my sources have gotten close to the truth, I think, as long as I'm not being trolled. And for that, we've been hacked. And to the point where it has messed with people's hardware. It's costing money, sleep, all that good stuff. And those kind of actions happened at a time coincidentally where other things were happening coincidentally. And I'm not a big fan of coincidences when it comes to that kind of extreme stuff. So Indy was threatened to be hacked. People got hacked close to Indy who've been researching with Indy and have done more research than even Indy knew about. My main source that you guys got to finally talk to got hacked. Kpro's site had some changes done to it by a user, all in the same time frame, and somebody going to Puerto Rico. We've proved today, at least if you believe that Jack hit and was in Puerto Rico before June 2020. His Condor comments corroborate his own whereabouts, and you guys now know how we know where he was. Shy Guy says he feels so sorry for the people who fall for my BS. I mean, if you want to think this is BS, that's fine. What else? For those of you who paid attention, now you guys know where the info came from and who it came from and how we have it. And we have a little bit more. But it's time to share. Shit got real. Shit got real. And so time to share why we knew what we knew. And that may piss Jack off, but that's fine. Don't care. So that's kind of my summary. So weird, strange things afoot at the Circle K as it is. So, yeah, Indy, and like again, don't worry. Those are Shy Guy's opinions. I've seen his. I don't even need to comment on them, so it's fine. Don't worry. Ben, your latest theory about the Chase truth. Oof. I don't know what the truth is. I no longer believe just Wyoming. I think all 4 states are back in play. And I also believe that it's very strange that Jack went to my search area on the way back with the chest. Weird. Very strange, guys. Very, very, very strange. Jack could be laughing his ass off at all of this. By all means, that's fine. I'm glad I supplied him with some free entertainment. I'm having fun still, but I'm just gonna keep trying until I find out the truth, even if that means failure, guys. You guys can't you can't be so afraid to fail. Put yourself out there, take a risk, do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. That's what this whole experience is all about. That's what I'm doing. No problem, Silver Fox. You're always welcome. I love when you mess around a little bit. All I know is something's going on. Ben, did you reach out to him or he to you the first time after the hacking? Goldilocks, we speak to each other all the time. So almost because we're always in cahoots, because we're always trying to make sure what's going on, any new information, we always try to make sure we're on the same page, see what's going on. And K-Pro, I'm with you. I get it. I get what you're saying, Wyoming. I just still think the dude could have lied in court. I'm not sold on any of it. I'm just saying Wyoming seems the most likely. That's where I'm at. So anywho, guys, I hope Indy wants to do an after show or whatever. I need to go do some family time. Thank you guys all for being here. But I'm glad that we've been able to at least get this out. And now we can move forward knowing where Jack was. That doesn't mean that's where the chest was, but we know where Jack was, and that's important. So, all right, guys, peace out. Thank you. I'll if there is an after show or some kind of show on tonight and somebody wants me to hop on, I will. No big deal. As long as, it's not too crazy.